Well, we got lots of projects in the shop this week, and like the last several videos, we got that roaring noise in the background because it's like 10 degrees outside. That's F degrees. I don't even know what that is in C, but probably a lot colder. So furnace is always going, but we've found some material laying around here. Not really what I wanted to use, but it'll work out okay. And we're going to transfer our paper pattern over onto that material, and then we're going to cut it out and make a door panel, a backer. So we'll go ahead and trace around that and then cut it out and see what we get. Probably a little hard to see with the glare from that overhead light, but we've got our line traced around on our material there, and we'll get that cut out. We really want to cut to the inside of the line because every time we make something or trace around, we keep tracing around the outside. Pretty soon it gets bigger and bigger and bigger, and then it doesn't fit. So we'll get her cut out, and then we can always this material can be sanded on the edges to get it to fit properly. It's got a black, I think it's just cheap masonite. It's got a black coating on this side, so this will not be the final product, but it's a little thicker than the paper, and hopefully what we can do is fit it on there and get a good shape and a good fit, and then it'll make a good pattern for whatever we finally use to make our inside piece. I have to say I had the piece of material that I wanted to use, and I went out in another building to get it, and of course I laid it flat on the floor to keep it nice and flat and parked the car on top of it, so that wasn't too spiffy. So we'll have to dig out some more of that material when we get a chance. So we've cut out our piece of material, and we've got it just sort of gripped on there with a couple of plastic clamps so we don't mark the door up. But looks like it's going to be all right. It's a tad bit large. I knew that was going to be the case. So realistically, like if you're going to cover this, you have to leave room around the perimeter for the material to roll over the back side. So you've got to leave it, just have it a bit small all the way around, and then let your material make up the edge. It kind of looks on the original piece that they use a piece of hide-em strip, which is a nailing strip that closes over on itself to hide the brads. I'm not real sure. I might just go ahead and put a couple of small holes in the panel and in the door for guide purposes, so as we take it off and trim it, when we put it back, it goes exactly the same place. You're not fiddling around trying to center it up and everything. Where it is right now, we'll put 4 corners at least, maybe 2 in the middle, and then we can put some pins in there or something to line everything up, and then we'll just probably take our marker and just make a line right around the perimeter, all the way around the perimeter there, with silver Sharpie be better on that black, and then we'll just sand the line away, and the thickness of that, you know, it's probably 70 or 80, maybe 100 thou even, all the way around, will give us enough that it should fit pretty well. But I think that's a lot better looking than at the ugly inside of that door. So we're still waiting on a shipment of 45% vinegar. That'd be pretty potent. They probably got to ship that by pack mule. But we've got 4 gallons of that coming, and it ought to make us almost a full tank of mix. So as soon as that gets in here, we'll get back on that fuel tank project. We got our Juba juice in here, our 45% vinegar. That's pretty serious. I mean, why don't they just sell you 100% vinegar? I've seen 5%, 30%, 45%. I guess there's 75%. Who knows? But we got 4 jugs of this 45%, and we put 2 gallons of water with each one of them. So 2 and 1 is 3 times 4 is 12. Man, look at that. And we put 12 gallons of fuel in the tank, and it didn't fill it up. I'm thinking that tank holds close to 15 gallons, which is interesting. So, you know, the stuff is in there percolating. We're going to have to see what it does. I'm going to leave it in there for a couple days. The good news is, if there is any, is none of it seems to be leaking out. So that's good news. We'll see what happens next. We went ahead and pinned our door panel on the 4 corners, and then I just went ahead and got this. I made this spacer to go behind the inside latch, and I don't, you know, on the other side it worked out just about right, so I'm assuming that on this side it'll need the same size spacer. But if the door panel material is that thick, then the whole thing is too thick. So you have 2 choices here. You can make a thinner spacer to sit on top of the door card, or what I'm going to do is cut the door card around the spacer so the spacer will actually sit in a pocket there. And you know, at the end of the day, what we'd have to do if we upholstered this is to upholster essentially around the door latch. Now, I am going to assume that when you get a new door panel, that the latch bolts right on top of and through the door panel, that the door panel's not cut out around the door latch. You know what happens when you assume. So you know, that's my plan initially. Now I might rethink that and see if I have a thinner piece of material and can make, you know, figure out how thick this particular piece of material is and make another spacer so it ends up being the same. I'm gonna have to put some thought into that before I actually cut the hole in the door panel, because it would be a lot nicer if the latch actually secured the panel to the door, rather than having it cut out, and then you'd have all, how are you going to attach it back here? There's nothing to attach it to. So, you know, this whole thought process might be kind of dumb, but it's that time of day. So anyway, I drew the line on there, and we'll think about it overnight.